All right. Excuse me, people. Simply Deep, what's up? You're first. All right. Let's get on with the official introductions. Yo, 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 what is good, gamers? What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you. Let's all be one cohesive unit and hit that like button. Help spread the content to a wider audience. And make sure you hit the bell icon so you can stay notified whenever I put out new content. I would appreciate that as well. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. Hope you are enjoying the content. And so everybody knows about this crackdown situation. It's old news. Danny Ruiz, what's up? This crackdown 3 is old news. We all know that, but I never got a chance to put my own spin on it because Monday I did my podcast about how I believe everybody can benefit from cross progression, and then Tuesday I did the roundtable podcast, and then other than a couple of game streams, I have been extremely exhausted. And so I didn't get a chance to put my own spin on it. And I had to do it tonight because I got a lot of things I got to get done tomorrow in preparation for I got to get a lot of things done tonight in preparation for tomorrow. So I'm not even 100% sure I'll be able to make the roundtable podcast tomorrow. If I do, I'll be late. So we'll see how that goes. So, we did talk about the Crackdown 3 situation a little bit during the roundtable podcast. And truth be told, I don't think I was aware of a Crackdown 3 even being in development until like 2015, I believe. I had become, even though I had an Xbox One, I was still pretty detached from Microsoft because I just don't like them as a company. I think they're one of the most ruthless and most diabolical companies out there. And, and I still got hard feelings from the shit I went through with them during the 360 generation. So, I guess I paid more attention to the negatives than the positives. So at the time that I found out about Crackdown 3, it just kind of went in one ear and out the other because I played the first Crackdown on the 360. And I really didn't care for it. It seemed like the same repetitive shit, walking around getting all these orbs so you can get strong enough to jump on top of buildings and throw cars. So just, seemed boring as fuck. So I never even gave Crackdown 2 a second look. And so Crackdown 3, when I found out about Crackdown 3, I thought to myself, I don't know who the fuck they think gonna buy this shit. But, I guess that was just my thinking was, I guess that's just Microsoft just, putting out what they probably thought was a hit amongst his community. So, I think the first time I was aware of Crackdown being delayed was shortly before the Xbox One X, the Black Ranger, what's up? Shortly before the Xbox One X was supposed to launch. Everybody knows that it got delayed until spring of 2000 this year, 2018. And Microsoft had been pretty quiet about Crackdown. And Coon, what's up? And by the time Microsoft finally said something about Crackdown 3, spring was already over. So it didn't take a brain surgeon for everybody to know that the shit was going to be delayed again. And then they said it was, delayed until 2019. And so by that point, after all the shit that I was hearing, the first delay was because they needed to polish the game. It didn't look good. I guess the next delay, they claimed there was an issue with the campaign, with the story, which I call bullshit on that because I would let them believe that even though the campaign might be the most expensive part of developing the game, a lot of it involves paying actors. So I don't see how there could have been a problem with the campaign. So I call bullshit on that. It made me even question whether the campaign even existed. Just like with Call of Duty Black Ops 4. They were talking about how the campaign wasn't going to be ready in time. I'm not even sure I believe they even had a campaign to begin with. So they might be lying too. Black Ranger, Xbox fans was acting like Crackdown was going to be Spider-Man level. Exactly. And I'll definitely get to that too. So, So I think after that delay where they said were having issues with the campaign, at that point, I was beginning to think that this game is never going to be ready. At this point, I was starting to feel like the game should be canceled, but they won't cancel it because they were already under fire for not having any exclusives. You know, they was already taking heat for that shit. So my thinking was that this shit is never going to be ready, but they're going to have to put it out there anyway because number one, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. They'll take even more heat from everybody because it would have already added to their already tarnished reputation from canceling Scalebound and shutting down studios, shutting down Lionhead Studios and all that shit. I figured it was going to already add to them already tarnished reputation. So my thinking was, as sort of a damage control, they had to put the game out there because if they don't, the way things was looking at the beginning of this year, the only exclusives they were going to have was Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. And I didn't even include Crackdown 3 in that because I believe the game was not going to come out in 2018. I just didn't. And so I did believe that the game should have been canceled, but like I said, they weren't going to cancel it because number one, they can't. It'll stick out like a sore thumb. They don't hardly have any exclusives, so it'll make it boom, stand out that much more. And plus on top of that, they've been working on this game for about 4 years, so I'm sure they sunk a lot of money into this game, and I'm sure they are going to want to recoup some of that money. The Coon, let's be real and just admit the whole cloud idea was dumb to begin with from the start of this generation. Coon, it probably was a dumb idea, but even if it was a good idea, I don't know. It sounds to me like Microsoft was just fucking with something that they don't know what they're doing. Then I was, hearing shit about like 3 developers working on the game. That's something I do not believe in. You have a developer working on the game, you have them work on the entire project from front to back. I'm no developer, but I don't know. If you're the owner of a football team and you have 3 coaches run the team, they're going to have 3 different philosophies and they're going to bump heads. The coaches are going to be fighting with each other, trying to implement their own philosophy. I couldn't see why this situation would be any different with 3 developers working on the game. For all we know, they could have been butting heads with each other on how they wanted to implement things. The one named Shadow, at this point, I think Crackdown 3 is not coming out this generation. It's going to be a launch for Xbox Scarlet. Well, yeah, Black Range. I played Crackdown 3 when it was on the 360. See, I really believe they, like I said, I believe they're going to release the game. They have to. I mean, I think they have to release the game as sort of a damage control. Now, see, I believe the game is they're gonna release the game. Now, King Thrasher, on the other hand, he came out with a video yesterday, and he believes the game is already canceled. What he said makes sense. Word is out that the developers are on their last leg, and there's going to be no more delays. So King Thrash believes that businesses don't give out public warnings, public ultimatums like that, publicly. He said they already got their mind made up what they're going to do. He thinks they just put that warning out there to get everybody warmed up to the idea that they're going to cancel this game, so they won't be so mad. Which I think I think that makes sense, but I still believe they're going to release it. I think Now here's where the catch is going to come in. I already said it before. They're going to release it. They have to. One, they sunk too much money into this damn game, and they got to try to get some of that money back. And I think they're going to try to get that money back through Game Pass. I think that's how they're going to release the game and kind of stave off some of the heat that they're going to take by releasing it through Game Pass. You know, they're going to say that shit again like they did with State of Decay 2, that you're only paying $10, you know, for the game, and they'll promise to fix it over time with patches and all that kind of shit. So here's what I think is going to happen. If I'm right and they follow through with releasing the game, it's going to be incomplete. I think that destructible environment is not going to be there. Support Gaming, what's up? I don't think that destructible environment is going to be there. Hell, it's possible that the multiplayer may not even be there. If they're telling the truth that they did have a campaign for the game, why not put the campaign out on Game Pass? To me, I almost felt like that's writing a book and just throwing it up on the shelf. You know, if you wrote that book, go ahead and get that shit published so you can try to get some money back off of it. The Black Rangers, they're going to say Crackdown. They're going to sell Crackdown 3 had 5 million player sales. It's always player count, never sales. Exactly. Especially now that Microsoft claims that they canceled, you know, they changed their metrics for success. Now it's all about, now it's all about the end user instead of actual sales. But let them fuck around and win an MPT, MPD for 1 month. You know, they gonna go fucking nuts throwing all them numbers out there. Hell, they was, I think that month that Nintendo won it, they was happy. They was happy coming in second place. And I think the biggest reason why they was said, oh, you just designed it in Mitsubishi? All right, cool. When Microsoft was happy coming in second place, I don't think it was so much that they were happy coming in second place. I think they were just happy that they beat Sony that MPD. Because I think Sony came in third, if I'm not mistaken. So like I said, you know, if they release it, they're going to release it through Game Pass. They're going to promise to fix it over time. The destructible environment is definitely not going to be there. And that's what the catch is going to be. If some sort of, they could just go with a regular multiplayer that's going to be boring as fuck, when you got your common people running around shooting each other, but no destructible environment. You're going to have your explosions, but no damage will come from the explosions. You know, it might be an explosion on the side of the building, but it won't be so much as a stain on the side of the building. So that's what's going to happen if they do release the game. Now, on the other hand, say, yep, as long as they beat Sony, they don't care what place they're in. If Sony's in 10th place, Xbox in 9th, they still celebrate. See, the thing about that, Black Ranger, at this point, Microsoft knows it can't beat Sony. And truth be told, I don't even think they even want to try to beat Sony. I think they just say that so that toxic ass fan base stays engaged, because that's all they really care about. They don't buy the fucking games. You know, they happy with the garbage that Microsoft puts out. And Phil Spencer is the master of hypnosis, because he tell them what to think. And he was the one that told them that exclusives don't matter. Phil Spencer was the one that told the Xbox that exclusives don't matter. And that's when they started losing their fucking minds over these multiplats. Truth be told, shit, even that past E3, even though Microsoft showed a lot of shit, any hardcore Xbox fan should still be upset over that E3, because they, in terms of Xbox exclusives, they still showed the same shit, still showed the same Gears, Forza, and an in-game engine, whatever you want to call it, of Halo. That it may not even look like that. The final product may not even look like that. But they covered all that shit up with a ton of third-party games. So, you know, they had the Xbox doing a backflip. You know, and I think only Phil Spencer can tell people that a new console is on the way less than a year after you paid $500 for it and they celebrate. Only Phil Spencer has that kind of magic. Now, getting back to what I think is going to happen if they end up canceling the game, they're going to do it at a time when they can give the community some good news so they won't get upset about it. You announce that Crackdown 3 is canceled tomorrow, it's not going to be a good situation because there's nothing to offset that. So they're going to wait until they got some good news to offset it before they tell you that Crackdown 3 is canceled. So I think it's possible. Now, look, this game is supposed to release in February. First of all, I think that's bullshit too. That February release date, I never believed that for 1 minute. And I'll tell you why I believe they even chose that date to begin with. But I think as far as them announcing that the game is canceled, I think that announcement could come as early as October when Forza Horizon 4 releases. If Forza Horizon 4 ends up being a big hit on Game Pass or it sells good, that might be the time that they go ahead and quietly announce that Crackdown 3 has been canceled. They may not even say canceled. They may say that the project is being put on hold while they try to work shit out, you know, while they try to work out the kinks or whatever the case may be, which will probably be a PR way of saying that the game is canceled. Cool. Microsoft put a lot of money down for Japanese games, and if they don't sell, Microsoft might not be opening the checkbook again. Microsoft is not opening the checkbook now. I don't get who the fuck they think they fooling. You want to know how? You want to know how we know Microsoft ain't opening the checkbook again? First of all, no Quantum Break 2, no Alan Wake sequel, and then I get an alert on my phone, you know, from Zaire. You know, I don't know him personally, but I'm subscribed to him, and his podcast says that Microsoft is open to doing another Record, doing Record 2. Which isn't that like a AA game, like better than an indie game, but not a AAA game? Microsoft is open to doing that shit again. How the fuck are they opening the checkbook doing that? No, they ain't opening that checkbook. And then here's the other proof that they're not going to open up the checkbook. I didn't read the article, but the headline was enough for me to get for me to get the gist of it. I was at N4G, and I saw a headline that said Microsoft wants to work with more mid-tier developers, you know, and want to put out, you know, more AA games. To me, that is another way of saying they want to put out more games like Record. They want to put out more games like State of Decay. They want to put out more games like Sea of Thieves, because I don't give a fuck what people say. Sea of Thieves is not a AAA game. Sea of Thieves is a $30 AA game. As far as I'm concerned, it's an indie game. To me, it's just a polished ass indie game. They say the checkbook wasn't open and then turn around and brag about the money they have. It's a shame. Broke Sony is doing real AAA games. I said this yesterday, Black Ranger, in one of my streams. Microsoft, I don't know how many times I can say this, but Microsoft is trying to make $2 million out of the paper bag. They're trying to make out of the sandwich bag, whatever you want to call it. Microsoft wants to make $2 million off of selling you a glass of water. Shit that don't cost anything, but they want to find a way to make a crazy profit off of it. That's why you have seen these fucked up games. This is why you have seen the State of Decays. This is why you've seen the Sea of Thieves. They don't want to put it. They don't want to put any money into that shit. I'm letting the way this whole Sea of Thieves fiasco played up. Guy Code, what's up? The way this whole Sea of Thieves fiasco played out, I wonder if Microsoft spent more money promoting the game than they did, publishing it. I just don't get how you can consider bullshit like that a AAA experience. But God, all the hype and all the inside Xbox bullshit, and even having the nerve to put out a commercial where a museum guide showing people the feature display, which is the Kraken. And we already know about that. They went ahead and put that commercial out there. And by the time that commercial was out there, everybody already knew the situation with the Kraken. The hardcore gamers already knew about that, but they put that shit out there for the casual people because they don't know shit. And the Black Ranger, and get back about, why the checkbook wasn't open. The checkbook wasn't open because of shit like Quantum Break being a failure. But Microsoft is at that point where there's only two ways they're going to invest in the game. If the game only costs them $5 to make the game, like State of Decay 2, like I said, it probably cost them $4.99 plus tax to make that game. But they did make money off of that bullshit. Now, if Microsoft would have had to sink $30, $40, $50 million into a game like State of Decay 2 to make it a true AAA experience, they would not have done it. I think the only way Microsoft would invest 30, 40, $50 million into a game, other than their normal Gears, Halo, and Forza, any other game where they would invest that much money into it, I think they would want the kind of results that Rockstar got with Grand Theft Auto. If Microsoft invests $50 million into a game, they want $200 million back. Sony, on the other hand, if they invest $50 million into a game, I think they're okay with getting $70 million back. Because I think in Sony's case, I said this yesterday, I don't think it's so much with Sony. I don't think it's so much about turning a profit off of that particular game. I think with Sony, there's a big picture involved. I think the big picture with Sony is they want to get as many games out there as they can to make their library huge. And a huge library like that Sony library makes their console more attractive. So now anybody who's just now getting ready to buy a console and they consult their friends and say, which console should I buy? There's a pretty good chance their friends are going to tell them that they should get a PlayStation. Because all the same third-party games are on the PlayStation that are on the Xbox. You got a ton of exclusives. You have the option to, add the VR. And then, the Vita is still part of the ecosystem. Yeah, way more options. You have way more options and way more content over on the Sony side. Over on the Microsoft side, you got, garbage ass exclusives and a bunch of third-party games that you paid $500 for. So I think that is the big picture with Sony. Because go back to the first PlayStation. Back then, the first PlayStation was competing against the Sega Saturn. And that first PS1, that first PlayStation won out because they had way more games. And, from what I understand, the way Sony was back then, they didn't give a fuck who you was. You wanted to put a game on our console? Come on, bring it. They had a ton of games on that first PlayStation. And I think that's why they beat out the Sega Saturn, because I think from what I had read some articles that, Sega wasn't letting any third-party developers develop anything for the Sega Saturn. It was all first-party shit that was on that console, and that, broke their back. So, so when the Dreamcast came out, they were allowing third-party developers to, bring content to the console, but by then it was too late. Yeah, Entertainment Wizard. See, so like I said, like take Horizon Zero Dawn, for instance. When that game was developed, I don't think Sony stood behind that game with the intentions of, oh, here's a game we think we can make $100 million off of. I think they supported Horizon Zero Dawn because that is another game that's added to their library. And Sony takes chances on games that have controversy in them too. Detroit Become Human was an amazing game, and it might be as far as the console goes, Detroit Become Human may be the best looking game I've ever seen. But I'm willing to bet you a huge amount of people bought that game because they wanted to see how that situation played out with the little girl and her abusive father. Yeah, that's one thing for certain. Entertainment Wizard. Everybody definitely agrees that Sega made a lot of mistakes that generation, but when they tried to correct it during the Dreamcast generation, it was just too late. So so again, I can agree with that guy, Colt. That you think they were looking for another system icon like Nathan Drake or Crash Bandicoot. I can definitely agree with that. But I still think that adding to a huge library was still part of the plan too. Spartan guy, what's up? Spider-Man versus Pokemon this holiday. Spider-Man is already sold out. Now, who was I think that was you, Entertainment Wizard, that said something about Microsoft not opening the checkbook. Now, look, I think one of the reasons why you have not seen quality AAA games out of Microsoft these past 2 or 3 years is because that console was not selling. Now that, I had to break it down, and I always have to use God of War as an example. God of War sold 5 million copies in its first month. That is phenomenal. But the toxic Xbox was like, yeah, it sold 5 million, but there's 80 million PlayStations out there, but you know what? That's true. There is 80 million PlayStations. So let's break that down. Like I said before, 5 million copies of God of War sold, 80 million PlayStations. That probably represents about 5 or 6% of the total PlayStations that are out on the street. 5%. So now you got the Xbox that's got 30 million units. If they develop a game and it only sells 6% of the amount of Xboxes that are out in the wild, you might be talking about 1.5 million. So you take a game like Quantum Break that they probably spent 30, 40, 50 million dollars developing that game. So just for hyper, so let's do the numbers here. Let's just say Quantum Break costs $50 million to develop. And the game only sold 1 million copies. At best, then that means that the game grossed $60 million at best. That's assumed that every single copy was sold at $60. That's $60 million. Now they got to pay taxes on that $60 million. The developers have to get paid. If they advertise the game on TV, the networks have to get paid. So when you break all that down, now out of that 60 million, either they broke even or they even lost money. Because There is no game. Okay, there's 30 million Xboxes out there. Can anybody tell me a game right now that they think would sell 30 million copies on the Xbox? Guy Code, you're right. Control looks the closest we will get to Quantum Break on the PlayStation. Absolutely right. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was Quantum Break 2 when I first saw it. And I was like, oh, Sony. I was like, oh, Sony. They reached in there and snatched Quantum Break right up from under Microsoft feet. Simply Deep, what's up? Control does look promising, but you said you said God of War would have sold more if Kratos could jump. Hey, you never know. And Entertainment Wizard, I've said it a bunch of times too. The big game that I'm looking forward to is Firewall for the PlayStation VR, which I did want to say that to the chat. When Firewall comes out, not only will I give my thoughts on the game, but if I think it is a very good game, I will encourage everyone to get that game, to get that aim control bundle, and then join me, and then we go play this shit. Because that is definitely a game that I want to engage with all of you. I definitely want to play that game with all of you. So if that game turns out to be hot, put that on your radar. So, but there you have it. Those Microsoft is not going, they're not going to spend any money on any new IPs. I think the only way they're going to spend money on new IPs is if it's this AA shit they talking about, or if it's some Super Lucky's Tale shit. And that's another. You said Entertainment Wizard, PlayStation VR is starting to get more compelling titles. You plan to get a PlayStation VR, but December. Hey, the next time they on sale, grab it. Guy Cole, you said you think Halo will be the only game that could hit 30 million, but that's also close to their entire user base, PC not included. It wouldn't happen. Because first of all, if Halo was going to hit 30 million, it would have happened this past Halo with Halo 5. Halo 5 is the proof that those same old Gears, Forza, and Halos are wearing thin because they're not selling like they used to. I think out of all the Halos that I played, Spartan God, I think Halo 2 on the original Xbox, I had so much fun with that game. I love that one, and Halo 3 was a good one. Now, Halo 3 to me is like it was Halo 2 rinse and repeat with a couple of with a couple of weapons added. You said Lincoln doesn't want to talk about Killzone? Yeah, I'll talk about Killzone because I like those games. I love Killzone 2. I didn't play Killzone 3. Now, honestly, Killzone Shadowfall, I bought that when the PlayStation first launched. Because of how slow the story started, I didn't like it. I almost took it back to the store and was going to get my money back. But I decided to give it a chance, and I ended up loving it. Entertainment Wizard, you says Spider-Man is the only title you think they could hit that 30 million, and that's on PlayStation. But still, okay. So let's say you're right. Let's say you're right, Wizard. Let's say Spider-Man hits 30 million. That's probably about what 35% of the PlayStations that's out on the street. 80 million PlayStations out on the street. That's 30 million. 30 million, Spider-Man games sold. That's about 35%. maybe 38% of the amount of PlayStations that's out on the street. Now take that same number over to the Xbox. You got 30 million Xboxes out there, and if a game sells 35% of the amount of Xboxes that's on the street, now you're probably looking at what, 8 million. And we know goddamn well a Quantum Break 2 or Alan Wake is not going to do 8 million. Therefore, Microsoft not going to fuck with it because it's not going to make them the kind of money they want to see. I don't know. I think those kill zones might be hit or miss. You know what I mean? This one, one might be good, the next one might be bad. Said it sucks. Sunset Overdrive didn't do well. That's I think that's another game that Microsoft ain't gonna fuck with, Wizard. Microsoft is tired of the fans bragging about power and not buying games. I don't know why Microsoft would be tired of fans bragging about, about the power when they was the ones that started this shit. The world's most powerful console, 6.4 teraflops. That's all you heard coming out of them. 4K 60 uncompromised. True 4K. That's all you heard come out of Phil Spencer's mouth. And the Xbox took that and ran with it. Phil Spencer only has to say something once, and the Xbox is going to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until Phil Spencer gets up on the top of that mountain and says something different. Hear me, Xbox. Today, backwards compatibility is the meaning of life. Now you got them running all over the place talking about backwards compatibility. Like backwards compatibility was the reason they spent $500 on a console. Sparking on the OG Xbox was a great console, to tell you the truth, though. And Microsoft had a lot of exclusives too. They had good exclusives too. They had their own sports lineup. They had their own NFL game. I think it was called Inside Blitz. They had their own baseball game called Inside Pitch. They had their own basketball game called Inside Drive. They had Vince Carter on the front of it. They had the best golf game I ever played in Lynx. That was the best golf game I ever played. It was better than Tiger Woods. So the best golf game I ever played was a Microsoft exclusive. I mean, in this day and age, they could never bring that game back, and it would never have the impact that it did then, but it was still an amazing game. And then you had other hits back then on the original Xbox, like Mech Assault. Something of Normandy. I can't remember that damn plane where you flying around in those planes. Don't Call Me Danny. What am I playing right now? Mostly you see it on my streams. I'm playing mostly GT Sport, MLB The Show. Occasionally I'll jump on the VR and throw one of those games in there, but for the most part, it's mostly GT Sport and MLB The Show. And then I got Sick Humor calling me out, talking about what he gonna do to me on GT Sport. That shit ain't gonna happen. So if you listen to Sick, there's smoke waiting on you. The smoke. I have no Wizard. I have no idea what this Battletoads is supposed to be. I think back then, it was so many games on the original Xbox that I played. Because as far as console goes back then on the OG Xbox, Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon, those games was only available on the Xbox. That first Rainbow Six and the first two Ghost Recons were amazing on the original Xbox. Mech Assault was amazing. Oh, and the Project Gotham. I think Project Gotham 2 that came out on the 360, that was amazing. Forza 2 was amazing. It was on the 360. Right there, Wizard. OG Xbox is remembered great for a reason. They had great exclusives. I know what you mean, Danny. Sick is naturally good at video games. So is Thrash. They one of them dudes that if they don't get it the first time, they'll get it the second time. But I've been fucking with racing games for a long time. And as a matter of fact, I was a beast on Forza 2. At the time, my son's mother had bought me a racing wheel, had bought me that Xbox racing wheel. So once I got that, I was murdering them on Forza 2. So the racing games is in my blood. He will not beat me at GT Sport. I'm not going to say that he won't beat me at MLB The Show because I don't know. I don't know if he's good at that game. I don't know. I don't know how good he is strategically at baseball. He said the first Rainbow Six I played was locked down at a friend's house. Guy code. Hey, come to think of it, Rainbow Six Vegas, that was an amazing game too. And that was only on the Xbox. That wasn't on the PS. That wasn't on the PlayStation. And not only that, Rainbow Six Vegas, that was the second game that made use of that Xbox camera that was on the 360, where you took a picture, you took a front picture and a side picture, and it made a model of your head and put it on the Rainbow Six Soldier. I think the first game that implemented that was a poker game. Yeah, MLB is a system seller, Danny Ruiz. It has a loyal following. I don't know how big the following is, but it definitely has a loyal following. I think if Sony were to drop MLB The Show from his library, I think there would be tremendous backlash for that. But I think you want to know the truth? Microsoft and Sony got two different mentalities. Microsoft trying to get that short money. They try to like I said, spend $5 plus tax on the game and expect to see 2 million, and they expect to see that 2 million come back, within 3 days. Sony is in it for the long haul. They'll invest the $40-50 million into a new IP that, and take a chance on it. And they won't expect the money to come back overnight. Of course, they want the game to be a hit, but I think more than anything, it's another game that's added to the library. He said Sony definitely has a lot of system sellers coming out, Guy Cole, without a doubt. I think Sony, with The Last of Us 2, I think Sony's going to double dip with that game. I think they're going to close the generation out with The Last of Us 2, and I think that's going to sell some. I think that's going to move some systems, and then when the PS5 comes out, I think they're going to re-release it. with the PS5 enhancements. Say, Guy Code, you like to see Sony invest back in the old IPs like Gex or Cool Borders or Bloody Roar. The two IPs that I would like to see come back. I like to see Sony bring them back is Twisted Metal being one of them, because when that game came out on the original PlayStation, that was a really fun game, but it was a single player game and it wasn't any such thing as internet back then. There wasn't any such thing as online gaming back then. So a game like Twisted Metal would have been a huge hit. I think they could pull that off. I think they could pull off doing the Twisted Metal game and not having to spend so much money to do it. I think they could pay somebody like an Insomniac, a third party. You said Sony should bring back Jet Set Radio. I never played it, but hey, you said you think they tried it for the PS3, but don't think it went well, Guy Code? Oh, I don't know. Okay, Jet Set Radio was an Xbox only game. All right. See, I never played the game, so I just wasn't familiar with it. Another game that I'd like to see come back is Modal Storm. What Forza Horizon is supposed to be, what they're trying to make Horizon Forza, Forza Horizon, that is Modal Storm right there. Video, what's up? You said Jet Set Radio was on Dreamcast as well. You know what? There was a lot of games on the Dreamcast, but I only had a few games because the games that I was playing on the Dreamcast, I absolutely loved them, and I couldn't get enough of them. The first UFC game was on the Dreamcast. Quake 3 was an online game. Not only was it an online game, it was crossplay. I was playing against people on the PC, but the fucked up part about it was that the Dreamcast was worked on dial-up internet, which was super slow, and broadband as we know it now was the new form of internet. And the PC gamers had a huge advantage over me. They told me I looked like I was moving in slow motion, but it was still fun playing at Quake 3 with PC gamers. That was so fun. There was another game I used to play called Alien Front Online on the Dreamcast. That was the first game I ever played that had some form of voice chat on there. It was a team-based game. It was the aliens against the American army, the alien spaceships against, American tanks. And when you wanted to communicate with your teammates, there was in the Dreamcast controller, you slipped the cartridge in there, and out of the cartridge was a microphone. So whenever you wanted to communicate with your teammates, you press the button and you recorded like a 5-second message. And then when you release the button, that message would play back through the TVs of your teammates. And that's how you communicated. So that was like the first form of party chat, first form of game chat that I ever did. Trying to think what other games that I played that I loved. Naturally the 2K games, NFL 2K, NBA 2K, MLB 2K. I was playing all those games. Even they even had tennis 2K back on the Dreamcast. All those games were online. The Dreamcast was just that console was ahead of its time. Oh yeah, Ready to Rumble video. That was another fun game. You know what? Too bad, video. Too bad Ready to Rumble. Man, looking back at it, too bad that game wasn't online. I never played Crazy Taxi, but I was aware of the game. Oh, Black Ranger, Iverson was on the cover for a few years. Now, with Dreamcast, they're just like, man, there's a different person on the cover every year. But you remember with the NFL 2K, Randy Moss was on the cover for about 5 or 6 years before they switched over. Same thing with Allen Iverson. Simvo, what's up? So, but I don't know, chat. You guys tell me what you think is going to happen with this crackdown situation. You think it's going to be canceled, or you think they're going to release it broken? Eric Arazo, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in here in a while. Where you been? Support gaming. I'm interested to see Naughty Dog sci-fi shooter. Also, Paris Game Weeks next month. Um, you know, Paris Games Week support gaming is very interesting because last year Sony saved some of their bullets for Paris Games Week. I think because they showed us, that's when they showed us gameplay for God of War. That's when they showed us, that's when they showed us some more shit. And I think it was a calculated move by Sony because I think it was a move to disrupt the launch of the Xbox One X, because I think the launch of the Xbox One X was like going to happen like a month later. Black Ranger, I don't know. I'm just waiting to see the fans and the fanboy reactions. Guy Code, release it broken. They're invested too much time. That's what I think. They invested too much time and too much money in it. Eric Arazo, you hitting the gym and just moved to Florida. Okay, that's what's up. Hey, keep cranking that iron. Shit. You're talking to a fellow gym rat. I didn't work out yesterday because yesterday wasn't one of my normal workout days, and I didn't work out today because I had to drive to another fucking city to go to the front of the court and drop some money on them motherfuckers. Because the job that I'm working at now, they hired me in about 3 weeks ago. So when I went to the front of the court to report that, hey, I got hired in, I'm no longer working for the temp service, that transition, now they had to go through that process all over again of contacting the employer so they can start taking money out of my check, blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, nothing's being taken out. So I'm responsible for that money that they never got during that time of transition. So I had to go drop that damn money on them. So that's why I didn't, really go to the gym today. I haven't even took my damn nap yet. So I won't be on here. A terribly long time. I'll be shutting it down here shortly because I need to get a nap in, and then I got to get up and get this shit done because I can't put it off any longer. I got to get some shit done around here tonight. It's got to get done tonight. And then not only that, I want to stream something tonight, and I want to try to stream something on the VR, but I don't want to be tired. So, because if I'm tired, I just don't feel like standing up. That's all to it with that VR. But I'm hoping Firewall will, if that game turns out to be what I hope it is, shit, I'll play that game from a fucking hospital bed. Spartan God, The Last of Us won't even reach Spider-Man level of sales. Ooh. You want to make a bet? You want to make a bet, Spartan God? I mean, that could be a sucker bet because Spider-Man is definitely going to be a system seller. So Spider-Man is definitely going to move some shit. Oh, you said with gamers against the LGBT part of the game, sales will go down. Yeah. Hey, Simply Deep. You wonder will Nintendo or Sega will make a new gaming console in the near future? You mean with them collaborating together? I don't know. You know, I guess I got to be honest, Spartan God. Even without that lesbian stuff that went on in The Last of Us, Spider-Man would probably still sell better than that because Spider-Man is definitely one of the most popular superheroes out there. He gets mentioned in the same breath as Batman and Superman, so Spider-Man is definitely up there. I have to agree. I think in his first month, I'm gonna say Spider-Man is probably gonna do about, I want to say 8 million, but I'm taking a gamble saying that because I'm saying that based on the belief that the game is going to be a hit, on that it's going to be a good game. If it ends up being a good game and then word spreads out about it being a good game, then people are going to jump up and go get it. The Last of Us, on the other hand, first month, I'm thinking 5 million. I'm thinking God of War type numbers. Robert McLeod, 20 million. That'd be insane. Impatient Fire, Spider-Man going to be God of War. At first, before God of War came out, I would have been so sure, but now I'm tend to agree. Simply Deep, if Sega does make another game console, I hope they bring back Eternal Champions. You say God of War didn't even sell out this fast, all Spartan God. Um, yeah, Robert McLeod, that would be nuts if it did sell 20 million. Guy Code, you think The Last of Us 2 will be game of this generation? Ooh. I think that's a possibility, Guy Code. I think the only thing that could stop that from happening is if there's too much backlash over that lesbian stuff. So let me take a minute and have a look at N4G. See if there's anything now. Let me see. Sign up now for the PlayStation 4 6.0 firmware beta test. Microsoft announces Xbox presents 25 games for GameCon. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Spartan guy, you said that's how you got Ellie's mom pregnant, and that's how you had her. You know, I don't have anything. I don't have anything about against two girls getting it on. I mean, what dude wouldn't want to be in the middle of that? That's a fantasy right there. He says support gaming. If Sony gets their act together and bring out a really good Spider-Man console design, then it's a wrap. Spartan guy, you said Xbox Gamescom better be good. Last year was dog shit. Well, yeah, they had them boring ass people sitting on the couch talking about controllers and shit. That was the Gamescom. I mean, if they was going to do that, they shouldn't even showed up. But yeah, let me read this title again. It says Microsoft announces Xbox presence, 25 games for GameCon 2018. 25 games? You know what? Whoa. You know, I bet you I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna do E3 all over again. They're gonna show a bunch of third-party shit like they did at E3. Microsoft hasn't even made Microsoft hasn't even made 25 exclusive this whole generation. Now, how the fuck they gonna come out with 25 games out of nowhere at Gamescom? Shit, I don't even think we saw 10 exclusives this past E3. Now, where the fuck they get 25 games from? They gonna be, you know, and pitch your fire. That's what it's gonna be. It's either gonna be a bunch of third party shit or it's gonna be a bunch of bootleg ass indie games that cost $5 each. The kind of games that Microsoft make should be, you know how they should be giving those games to people? It should be a free code in the bottom of a box of Captain Crunch. That's how they should be giving State of Decay away. You said Zaire had a fit, even Crap Gamer did. Yeah, that oh boy. Said Microsoft has a bad idea of games, pretty much. So what we'll probably see at Gamescom, bunch of bootleg indie shit, Super Lucky's Tale DLC, an announcement that State of Decay 3 is in development. And that's another thing. Speaking of State of Decay 3, that made me think. All those studios that Microsoft acquired, I don't think we'll ever see what these studios are capable of, because I don't think Microsoft is going to let them. I think Microsoft is going to put them on a stingy ass budget, and they're going to be putting out games like State of Decay. And out of all those studios, I think Ninja Theory might be the only ones that might get put on a tight budget and still might be able to produce something special. I think the rest of them, if Microsoft puts them on a tight budget, is going to show. I think if Microsoft gives them a budget of about $50 plus a $10 target card, you're gonna see the results of that shit. When Major Nelson says Goat Simulator is the greatest game he has ever played, then there's a problem. Of course. You said Ninja Theory caused a stir because they were so close to Sony. And see, Spartan God, I think there's also a motive for Microsoft acquiring Ninja Theory, not only because of the nice game that they produced out of Hellblade. I think they went ahead and snatched them up just to keep them out of Sony's hands. I don't think it was I think that's more what it was about, rather than recruiting them because they're a talented studio. I think they just got them to pry them away from Sony. You said Major Nelson is a douche. Major Nelson is an idiot. Heard Hellblade bombed on Xbox. Everything bombs on Xbox, Wizard. Everything bombs on Xbox because they don't buy shit. They brag that they're going to get it. They just want bragging rights. That, see, the thing about Hellblade, Wizard, if a game is on the PlayStation platform but it's not on the Xbox platform, they automatically assume it is a PlayStation exclusive. So when Hellblade was coming to the Xbox, It was nothing about them wanting to experience a good game. It was about the Xbox screaming, "Ha ha, we took one of your games, Sony. Ha ha, we took one of your exclusives." That's what that shit was all about. They weren't going to buy that game. Same shit gonna happen with No Man's Sky. They running their mouths like, "Ha ha, Sony, we took another one of your exclusives. We took another one of your exclusives," but they not gonna play that shit. You said you don't see how Ninja Theory will survive if they release on Xbox and PC. I don't think Microsoft. First of all, I don't. I don't think Microsoft is going to give all these studios creative freedom, like they said. Here's what my idea of creative freedom means when it comes to Microsoft, and we'll use Ninja Theory as an example. They're going to come to Ninja Theory. They're probably going to tell them, "Here, this is your budget. You got $500,000 to work with. We don't care what you make, but whatever it is, it must be multiplayer." You said they're going to be the next Lionhead Studios. You think they might end up getting closed down, Guy Code? You think Microsoft might close them down? Truth be told, I think out of all those studios that Microsoft acquired, I think Ninja Theory has the best chance to survive, because out of all those studios, I think they have the best chance of producing a good game on a tight budget. I mean, let's face it. I think other than Ninja Theory, Jackknife, what's up? Other than Ninja Theory, I mean, maybe you could say Playground Games got talent, but I think other than those two, nobody else, none of the Microsoft developers have no talent. None. It makes me jump out of my seat. 343 Studios and the Collisions, they're following up somebody else's work. They didn't create Halo and Gears. They're following up on somebody else's work. You said, "Uh-oh, Kiss Move uploaded." You know what? I have never watched the Kiss Move video. I have never watched a complete podcast. I mean, I watched him for about 5 minutes and couldn't take it no more. And then when he was and then when Kid Smooth was debating against Zaire and King's Blood Gaming, I said, "Oh my God." They were debating, what they were debating about was that's when Zaire was going on a rampage saying that Microsoft needed more mature shit, instead of all this, Cartoon Network bullshit. And Kid Smooth was like, "What do you mean? Microsoft has adult themed games. Like, what are you talking about?" And he was like, "Sea of Thieves is an adult themed game." And I was like, "Oh my God." After that, I shut that stream off right then and there. He said he did a drunk stream one time. It was lit. Said, "You got to listen to She Only 15 by Kid Smooth." You know what? Kid Smooth and Crap Gamer are two people I just cannot listen to. Because these are people that no matter what you say to them, you're never going to get through to them. Despite, these garbage ass exclusives and the lack of exclusives, they still think the Xbox is the best experience in video games. They still think Xbox has the best lineup. They know goddamn well that shit ain't true. They know damn well that shit ain't true. You could throw Cody Eastwood in that bunch too. They know goddamn well that shit ain't true. So part of their channel is putting on that character, of acting like, the best Xbot, as they like to say. That's one of the reasons why I love listening to King Thrash, because he's speaking from the heart. He not being a Sony pony and everything that come out of his mouth is Sony, 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 Sony. You know, he won't, if Sony fuck up, he'll call him out on it. You know, he, you know, Thrash speak from the heart. You know, those other dudes that I mentioned, Smooth, Cody Eastwood, and crap, just, you know, no matter what the situation is, they always gonna act like, you know, Microsoft could have another red ring situation on their hands where all these Xboxes are burning up, and Kid Smooth and Crap Gamer and all them motherfuckers are still praise them and still say it's the best experience. It's, you know, well, if you can get past the red rings of death, the Xbox is a great console if you can get past the red rings, you know. Just like they were saying about PUBG. If you can get past all the frame drops, it's a great game. State of Decay, Crap Game was like, you know, the rubber banding even adds to the fun. You know, it even adds an element of fun to the game. Like, yeah, for real, I can't listen to this. Mod Razin, you said Crap Gamer is a pony. Just being Xbox is a career for him. He played both God of War and Detroit. The thing about it, you know, Razin, is that half the damn videos the Crap Gamer make, you know, he using footage from Sony games. He's admitted that he got a PlayStation VR. Oh, and my son, he loves seeing me get irritated. So he's always like, you know, let's watch a Crap Gamer video. I was like, no, please. Like, because he wants to see me get irritated. Because the video, 5 seconds into the video, I'll just start shaking my head and like, I can't take this anymore. Area Drake, what is up? You say he's just running the channel to make Xbox look bad. How do I describe I almost want to say some shit like Phil Spencer is Magneto and Crap Gamer is just one of the mutants that carries out his orders. Razi, you said he's going to praise Spider-Man real high. He's going to forget his career depends on him maintaining his Xbox persona. He'll probably lick Spider-Man's ass for about one day, and then he'll go right back to his Xbox shit. Support gaming. I think Microsoft, Xbox know they can't compete with Sony single-player games, so their only option is multiplayer games. But then EA, Activision, Rockstar, Ubisoft is going to be tough. I agree. And they talk about people. I've never played Quantum Break before. And truth be told, I think the very first time I saw a trailer for Quantum Break, I was interested in it. But then I heard it was garbage. And I just never got back to it. Why did Robert McLeod? Why did I compare Magneto to Phil? Because the mutants that follow Magneto will follow him over the edge. If he jumps off of a cliff, his loyal band of mutants will follow him right over that cliff. That is Phil Spencer. If he jumps off of a cliff, the Xbox will follow him over the cliff. No, worse than that. He don't even have to jump over a cliff. He just point at the cliff and tell them the Xbox Valhalla that they have a seat waiting for them in Xbox Valhalla. And then the Xbox will jump off that cliff. Um, I missed parts of that. Arian Drake, I'm sorry about your loss. No, be strong, bro. Impatient fire, Xbox Valhalla. Oh my goodness. So I don't know. You know what? The Reverend Jim Jones will probably be a better description of Phil Spencer. He said crap tried Vera. You said crap will be the only one to want to fall off the cliff. No, that's not true. Because Cody Eastwood will go off that cliff with him. Randall Thor, you might have to talk to him a little bit, but you can convince him to jump off that cliff too. You know what? Oh, I just had an idea. Wanye Tuda, what's up? You know how Black Bond does the corporate slave awards every year, right? I should have. That's what I should do. I should have like a podcast that's something similar to the corporate slave awards, but in my bracket, we'll have which Xbox will follow Phil will jump off that cliff for Phil Spencer and which ones won't. Because hands down, if Phil Spencer tells the Xbox to jump off the cliff, hands down, we know Kid Smooth gonna jump off that cliff. We know Crap Gamer gonna jump off that cliff. We know Code Eastwood gonna jump off that cliff. I don't know. MBG, maybe you might have to talk to him a little bit. You might have to work on him a little bit. And Randall Thor, him initially, I don't think he would jump off that cliff unless he got a personal visit from Phil Spencer himself. Once Phil Spencer come to him and pat him on the shoulder and tell him that he's the chosen one, then yeah, he'll go ahead and jump off that cliff too. Hey, you know what? Hey, let me hear from y'all, chat. Let me hear from y'all. Who do y'all think would if Phil Spencer told him to jump off that cliff? Which Xbox do you think would jump off that cliff? You said for Valhalla. Damn, who else is another one? I don't know. I think the broadband bullies will probably go ahead and jump off the cliff, but the problem is they'll all be fighting with each other as they jump off the cliff. Oh yeah, Spartan guy. We know Crap Gamer gonna be the first one to jump off. Yeah, Dealer Gamer, he'll jump off too. D-Batch, he'll probably jump off. I think the Red Dragon might be another one who might jump off. Yeah, we know Colt gonna jump off because him and Crap Gamer are gonna be holding hands as they jump off the cliff. Support Gaming, the thing about it is Phil Spencer will tell them that he'll meet him in Xbox Valhalla. So they're gonna jump off that cliff thinking that Phil Spencer gonna meet him there. Yeah, Post Up goes, like I said, Coon, Post Up is part of the broadband bullies. He'll jump too, but him and King's Blood Gaming and the rest of them all gonna be fighting each other. Scottish Savage, what is up, man? You are late, man. Couldn't you have gotten here like about 45 minutes earlier? Because I'm about to wrap this up. Because I would have had loved to have you jump in here, but if I had you jump in here now, we only gonna be here for about 15 minutes because I'm wrapping this up soon. Right now, we also know that Matt Booty's gonna jump off. Shannon Loftus is gonna jump off. Mike Ibarra is gonna jump off. We are, we know they're gonna jump off. Aaron Greenberg, we know he gonna jump off the cliff. He said, I don't think Crap and Phil should jump. I think they should be pushed off instead. See, here's the problem with that, Arian Drake, is that if anybody come near Phil, Crap gonna fight him. Anybody try to push Phil off that cliff, Crap gonna fight him. And he may not be able to fight, but he's a big fat motherfucker, so he's gonna be a load to move. It's gonna be, it's gonna be some work to move him. Spartan God, how dare you? You said Lincoln Clay will jump off. How dare you? Now, Zaire, would he jump off? Maybe if Phil Spencer promises him that there'll be no more diabetic gaming, that if they start making some more adult themed games, then he might jump off too. Damn, y'all gotta give me some more names. Who else will jump off that cliff? Todd Howard. See, there's a lot of Xbox out there that I don't even know about. No. Hey guys, go. Here's what will happen to Zaire. Like I said, Phil Spencer will come to him and will make a promise that they're going to start making compelling AAA exclusives. Zaire then going to jump, and then while he's in mid-flight, he's going to see the light, and he's going to try to turn around in midair and grab that cliff, and he's going to scratch the shit out of it like a cat scratching a couch, but it's going to be too late. He's going to go over the side, and he's going to die too. You said Vidiot will jump off. Now, his is a special circumstance. I think you might be able to convince Vidiot to jump off if you give him a box of electronic cigarettes, then he might jump off. I had to sneak that one in. I had to fuck with you, Vidiot. You my dude, Vidiot. You know how to fuck with you. Yeah, you said Crab go wait for Matt Booty to jump first, so he jump in some booty when he hit the bottom. Scottish Savage, Xbox fans are mentally challenged. K Mega will push everybody out of the way and then jump. You know what, Guy Code? You damn right. No, ain't no with Diver. It ain't no maybe. Not only is Diver gonna jump, but before he jump, he gonna turn around and look at everybody else and be like, "Fuck y'all mean y'all ain't gonna jump? Y'all better jump off this motherfucker." You know what? I'm not so sure about Fatal if he would jump, because that dude got a lot of names from Microsoft. He done called them Microcock. He done called them Microstaff. He I think Skyrim, he called it Shit Rim. So I'm not so sure the Canadian grizzly bear would jump. That's Fatal Mephisto, the Canadian grizzly bear. I'm not so sure he would jump. Oh boy. Mads Gaming, I'm not sure if he would jump. You'd also say maybe the chick that's good friends with Ryan the Professional. You talking about Luca? Nah, I'm not so sure that she would jump, because I haven't watched too much of her stuff. But the couple of her podcasts that I did watch, Like back when that Sea of Thieves shit, when everybody was banging on Sea of Thieves, like she was getting really tired of that subject coming up. I mean, that shit was getting on her last nerves. So I'm not so sure Luca would jump. But even if she wanted to jump, I don't think Ryan would let her, because Ryan would probably tell her, "You throwing your life away. Don't do it." He'll grab her and won't let her jump. But he'll be saving her life though if he did that though. So that's my man Ryan. So there you have it. I don't think Luca would jump, but I think Ryan would pick her up and take her to PC land, make sure she's safe. Now Thrash, on the other hand, I think he would go kicking people in the ass and kick them off the cliff. I think Draco, I think he would go around checking people like, look, answer the question. Are you going to jump or not? Hey, but I can't knock I could knock Ryan if he did save Luca and wouldn't let her jump, because I wouldn't let Titanfall Princess jump. I would save her. I'm her Lincoln daddy. I'm Lincoln daddy. She know I love her. Gamer Addict would jump. He said jumping off a cliff is copy and rise. Oh God. Oh shit, y'all killing me. Oh. See, like Thrash would tell, he would handle it one of two ways. He would kick them off the cliff or tell them, y'all the dumbest motherfuckers alive. Go ahead, jump y'all dumb asses off that cliff. Y'all weird motherfuckers, you weird niggas. That would be Thrash. I think Craig would tell him, you guys are a bunch of simps. If you want to jump, go ahead and jump. You guys are a bunch of simps. I don't think Craig would stop him. I think Craig would let him go ahead and jump off. Who would the Assassin's Creed dive make it through, make it a faster fall? Oh, you said who would do the Assassin's Creed dive though and make it a faster fall? Uh shit. Shit, I think Crap Gamer would do a fucking swan dive off that cliff and land on that brick head first he would land on that concrete head first. Craig will give him free smoke. The smoke. The smoke. Jeff Hardy would jump. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that is. I mean, I'm not sure I heard of him before. Damn, that's what I should have done. I should have made this the who would jump podcast. Um, I think Don Matrick, he would stand there and let them jump, but I think he would ask each Xbot to return their connect before they jump. And I don't know, Don Matrick might ask them to sign some kind of waiver too before they jump. He said, push him off. I'll have 300 Spartans. You said you might get flagged for that title like Thrash did for the OG Roundtable channel. You might be right. You might be right, Guy Code. Oh, man. Spartan God. Not only would Major Nelson jump, he would hand out a pair of white gloves to everybody who will jump. Said you was cleaning ferrets. Oh man, Major Nelson. Oh my God. Not you know what? Not only will Major Nelson jump, Spartan God, I think Major Nelson will be the guy at the front of the cliff giving everybody instructions on the proper way to jump off the cliff. White gloves on, hands at your side, jump, spread arms across your body. Then as you're falling, raise both hands up about 90 degrees. You said none of these bots would jump unless Microsoft put it behind a paywall. Yeah. If they know that there's an Xbox down there with new controllers, yeah, Impatient Fire. If they know new controllers is down there, if they know an Xbox down there with Kodi and Dolby Atmos and all that shit with features and no games, they'll jump. Oh man, I had a ball with this. As far as the roundtable goes, I think Diver and Vidiot are I think they're the hard. Well, I ain't gonna say hardcore, but they're the ones that prefer Xbox in our crew. Guy Code, I'm not so sure about that Scarlet thing. Because before they smash their heads at the bottom of that cliff, they might end up finding out that there is no Scarlet. Major Nelson is like a boring touring guide. Exactly. He'd be the one giving instructions on the proper way to jump. They'll find the remnant of Crackdown 3 at the bottom. Spartan God, you're not sub to the round table anymore. What's the deal with that? You know, the Round Table and the PlayStation Plus podcast are two of the best podcasts out there. Said maybe Project Scarlet would be waiting for them on the other side. The thing about it is, Phil Spencer, and you know the fucked up part about it, if all those people jumped off the cliff, Phil Spencer would send somebody down to the bottom of that cliff and go through the pockets of all the bodies that's laying at the bottom of that cliff and grab all their credit cards so they can register them for Xbox Live. Scottish Savage, you said you started playing MLB The Show for the first time. Still trying to work it out. Oh. You know what, Spartan God? in defense of that, I will say that, you know, you've seen it sometimes, Spartan God. You know, sometimes we got 8 people in there, people talking over each other all the time. And it's hard to, you know, it's hard to get a word in sometimes. And I'm sure not all of them, you know, and then when they get into a heated discussion, they may not be looking at the chat. So that might be something where you might have to say what's up more than once. So like me, right here, right now, I'm by myself and I'm talking to all of you guys. So I see just about every comment that's coming up in the comment section. But I will say that, like, take for instance, if I'm streaming that racing game, GT Sport, if I'm going around a curve and you take your eye off that track for 1 second to try to read a comment, you are going off the track. So if you come in there, if you come into my stream where I'm doing GT Sport and you happen to say something, you know, if there's a bunch of comments going up, you might have to say something more than once for me to see it. But if I'm on a straightaway or something like that, then yeah, I'll see it and I'll respond. That's one of the reasons why I play MLB the show so much, is because I can always quick look over at the sidebar and see the comments. That, you know, I really don't know about that one, Spartan God. I've stayed as far away from that situation as possible. You know, Guy Code said something else too, that sometimes if somebody does respond, if there's 8 people and they're all talking over each other, it can get muttered by another person talking. So you know, Ari and Drake is definitely different personalities on the round table, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Right there, you know, Wanya Tuda said, "Yeah, I'm on the wireless headphones talking to my friends with clay in my ear. I can't see everything either. Got to scroll." Exactly. Said Roundtable podcast was lit this week. The panel in the chat was on it. You know, hey, you know, Spartan God, you said, you know, you subbed to sick. Hey, you know, shit, I'm a moderator on Six channel, and he doesn't see everything that I send because, you know, he got damn near 3,000 subscribers, and he's definitely, you know, he's watching trailers that he's displaying, he's looking up shit, you know, stuff like that. So it's definitely, you know, even sick don't see everything. Impatient Fire, the Roundtable podcast is one of the best podcasts. I agree. Thank you so much, Impatient. Guy Code, either that or make certain the podcast members in charge of chat. Maybe that would help. Hey, that's something that hey, I'll run that past Thrash. You also said Sparty guy. You also said that's where I get a pro Sony Reds. So Scott is Savage. You said when I get better, we can play it. Absolutely. You said the Arian Drake, the No Soul podcast is going to be #1. Yeah, I hope so. I'm also talking to. I've also spoken to Craig about it. Craig Harris. Whenever the 3 of us get together, me, Craig Harris, and Thrash, whenever the 3 of us get together, we have an excellent podcast. And I mean, I end up listening to the replays of our podcast, like, you know, a couple of times. And, you know, we made that joke, you know, Craig made that joke about, you know, 3 black dudes. And I said, hell, maybe we should call ourselves the 3 black ass amigos, you know, which was pretty funny. But then I was like, hey, you know, what if we did do a podcast like that and called it the 3 black dudes or the 3 black ass amigos? So I was talking to Craig Harris about it, you know, and he said, if, you know, he'll take a look at his schedule. And I said, I'll run it by Thrash. So Scott is Savage. Scott is Savage. No, you are not on the podcast. You are a member of the podcast. That's already been discussed amongst the round table. You are a member of the round table. Scott is Savage. Not an honorary member. You are a official member of the round table. So, you know, so you can join us on Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesdays is supposed to be for immediate members, and Fridays is supposed to be like open for us to bring guests in there. But you are an official member of the round table. said I've also smoking. LOL. I think you meant spoken. Oh, did I say smoking? Did I say smoky Spartan guy? Goddamn. You said you got the idea from Foxy Games UK. Craig is in charge of that. Okay. And Patient Fire said all three have amazing chemistry. I'd love to see more of you guys doing a podcast together. See, Thrash would be the X factor in that. I think Thrash would be up for doing something like that. I think he would be up for doing a podcast like that, but he lives in California and he's 3 hours behind us. And I think he doesn't get out of work until like 5:30, 6 o'clock Pacific time, which is 9 o'clock Eastern time. And Craig and I are on Eastern time. So that's where the snag comes in. But I'm down for it. I think Craig is down for it. So I definitely got to talk to Thrash about it. And I think if we could make it work, he'd be down for it too. I think it'd be awesome. And we also talked about rotating channels with it. Spartan guy, you said you think going to keep the channels you sub to. You got Sick, Ryan, me, Porter Rock, Foxy, Craig, Mad, Smooth, Weapon Wheel Podcast, IR, etc. Okay, I understand, and I appreciate you being a sub on my channel. Definitely, you know. And as Thrash said, y'all my homies, not subs. Y'all my friends. So the Weapon Wheel, I never watched any of their podcasts. And truth be told, after Hard 8 left, I wasn't really interested in checking out the podcast, especially seeing that it was run by Smooth. Robert McLeod, you said Porter Rock is my teacher. Robert McLeod. Did you see Robert McLeod? Did you see my episode of the Lincoln show that I did with Porter Rock? A couple of months ago, he came on to the Lincoln show as a guest, and that was definitely one of the best Lincoln shows that I've ever done. You said Guy Code, you unsub to Porter Rock. I don't know what to say about that, my man, because you know Porter Rock's one of my favorite YouTubers. You know, without a doubt, Thrash is one of my favorite. You know, one of my favorite. Thrash is my favorite YouTuber. Yes, you know, but I think it's also cool that you know he's my favorite YouTuber, and he's also one of my closest YouTube friends. Okay, Robert McLeod. You know, I don't know how long, you know, assuming you are a sub to this channel, I don't know how long you've been a sub to this channel, but I do one-on-one interviews or one-on-one Q&As called The Lincoln Show. I've done about 15 of them, and I've had some of the guests that I've had on here. I've had Porter Rock as a guest. I've had Foxy Games UK as a guest. I've had Jay Wags as a guest, Ryan the Professional. Thrash came on and did one. Sick did one. Vidia came on twice. I had Titanfall Princess as a guest. Who else have I had as a guest? You know, I was supposed to have PSVR Frank as a guest last weekend, but it never materialized. I mean, we were in contact, and then you know he just didn't respond anymore. Am I mad? No, I'm definitely disappointed because I really wanted to do that one. I definitely want to do that one. Wanted to do that one for the subs. You know, I still may reach out to him again and ask him again to come on the show. You know, but I try to reach out. I try to reach out to YouTubers. Impatient Fire, Lincoln, Craig, KTG, P Rock, and Ryan are my favorite YouTubers. Thank you, Impatient Fire. I definitely appreciate being included in that. Sick Humor. Oh, Fatal Mephisto. He's another one that I had as a guest on the Lincoln show, Robert McLeod. You know, you don't want to know the truth. That's kind of where I got the idea from for the Lincoln Show. One time I was watching like Sick Humor and Fatal Mephisto for a while. Those two were the 1-2 punch. Every time those two got together, it was always a great podcast, and they just had that chemistry and I said I love how they get together one-on-one, and that's kind of where I came up with the idea for the Lincoln Show. Say Guy Code, you said Sick, Ryan, Craig, Fatal, King Thrash, Foxy, Robin Gaming, and me also. Thank you, Guy Code. I appreciate it. But like I said this about Thrash before too. One thing about me and Thrash, one thing you're gonna get is if you ask me a question on YouTube, I'll give you an honest answer. And if you ask me that question off YouTube, you'll get the same answer. Say, Robert McLeod, you have over 300 subs and you hardly do much. It goes like that. You know, I think I'm not trying to toot my own horn. You know what? And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but, you know, Sick said for the work that I was doing, especially with the Lincoln Show, he said with the kind of work that I was putting in, he said I should have more subs. But I had said a long time ago that I had accomplished my goal a long time ago. All I ever wanted out of YouTube was to have enough subs that whenever I go on, that there'll be enough people in the chat that I can interact with everybody and have a conversation with everybody. I think the first couple of times, thanks, Robert. Emmy Khan, what is up? Shout out to Emmy Khan, because while we're sitting here talking about my channel and how many subs I got, Emmy Khan was one of the first people to subscribe to my channel. I made my first video back in December. Right after I made that video, King Thrash made a video, and in that video, you know, he took a screenshot of my video and said, "Hey, this is the new dude on the block. This is Lincoln Clay." He was like, "Check him out. You know, he's down with the round table. You're gonna see a lot of stuff coming from him." And soon after that, you know, I think I got a message from Emmy Khan, was like, Thrash sent me, you know, and so he was one of the first people to sign up, you know, subscribe to my channel. So shout out to Emmy Khan. So, you know, so Robert McLeod, if I get, you know, if the channel keeps growing, you said you could use a beer right now. I haven't had a drink in 3 years, man. If the channel keeps growing, that's great. But if it doesn't, I'm fine with that also, because, you know, there's enough subs on this channel that whenever I go live, I can always have a conversation with people. And that's what it was all about. You know, me, you know, having enough subscribers to this channel that I would be able to interact with everybody whenever I go live. So anybody said Robert McLeod, he was happy only having 16 subs. I will say that, you know, damn, I mean, you just got your 136 platinum. Damn. You know, Robert McLeod, now with Thrash, I think with Thrash, you know, put that screenshot of my video in his own video and was telling everybody to subscribe to my channel. I think that day I got 6 subs. Now in terms of Sick overall, Sick got me the most subs. You know, because Sick has been huge in helping me get subs on this channel. You know, he's mentioned me on his own channel. You know, he's been in my podcast a number of times. So I think through Sick, I probably got maybe 50, 60 subs through Sick. J-Dog, what up? What's going on? And I think now the most subs I got in one night was through Titanfall Princess. The night that she came on the Lincoln show, that night, I think I got 17 subs that night just from her being on the Lincoln show. So, you know, she was huge too. She was a big help in getting me some subscribers too. So, so with her, although I may not be, she offered me a permanent spot on her podcast, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to commit to her, but I told her I'd make as many of them as I can. So whenever she goes live, if I can make it, I'll jump on there with no problem. Amy Khan, yeah, I love Sick channels, and see, and then even though he like streams at crazy hours because he works third shift, it's right up my alley, because when he's live, that's when I'm going to work, so I can listen to him while I'm at work. And then Craig Harris, when he goes live, he usually goes live at about 1 o'clock Eastern time, and then that finishes off my day. And then you mix Ryan in too, because I think Ryan, he works second shift. So whenever he goes live or puts out a video, he usually puts it out. I want to say around 11 o'clock Eastern time, noon or something like that. So that helps me get through my day too. So watching his stuff helps me get through the day too. So that's kind of how my day goes at work. Let me see. So you got Sick, Craig Harris, Ryan the Professional, Foxy Games UK, and Porter Rock. Those are the guys that's likely to stream while I'm at work. So if anytime any of those guys go on, it helps me get through my day. I said, any of the guys been watching Retro Replay? I don't know what that is. So, excuse me. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap it up so I can get to these chores that I was talking about. I absolutely have to get these done tonight. I know I said that a couple of times. And another reason why I need to hurry up and get this stuff done, I need to hurry up, get it done, and get it out of the way, because I want to say around 9, 10 o'clock Eastern time, I want to come back on and stream a game. I don't know what I'm going to play. It's a show with Nolan North and voice actor for Sam Play Old Games. Said it's 1 a.m. here in Emicon. Okay. So yeah, I definitely want to take care of this business that I got to take care of, so I can come back and stream in a little while. I might, I know I do MLB The Show. I know I do 1,000 of those. But for the sake of being able to interact with the chat, that's probably the best game for me to play, to interact with the chat, because it's real easy for me to look at the sidebar before I go throw a pitch or something like that. It's a little bit difficult. Guy Code, thanks a lot, appreciate it. I have to take a look at this Retro Replay too. Robert McLeod, as I say, life before games in my case anyways. Definitely. That's one of the reasons why you don't see me on here as much as I did when I first started my channel, when I first started going live, because I'm back in the gym now. I've been back in the gym now for about a month. My shoulder's doing a lot better, so I'm back to pressing heavy weight. I'm back to benching 225 and stuff like that at the gym, so that feels great. And I got my chores around here and working 6 days a week. So Arian Drake, Impatient Fire, Guy Code, Robert, J-Dog, Lincoln, chat. See you guys later on. All right. We'll catch you later, Arian. So with that being said, let me excuse me. Let me go ahead and wrap this up too. Like I said, get what I got to get done. So keep your eyes out for me, people. Keep your eyes out for me. Like I said, I'll try to have my shit done in the next hour. If not, keep an eye out for me. Say maybe about 10 p.m. Eastern time. Emmy Khan, damn, yeah, 10% body fat. How tall are you and how much do you weigh in terms of pounds? Because I know over there, over there in the UK, you guys are on a metric system, so. So I don't think you guys go by pounds over there. I forgot what the metric is over there you guys use. Impatient Fire, thanks. You 5'9", which I'm 5'9" too. How much do you weigh in terms of pounds? Robert McLeod, you lost 16 pounds if that counts. Hey, that is huge. Emmy Khan, you 5'9", 174 pounds. I'm 5'9", about 210 pounds. I was heavier than that. I was 225 pounds. I went on a diet and I went all the way down. I got all the way down to 198 pounds, and I looked great. I thought I looked damn good, but I lost so much size and I didn't really like it. So I went and put some of the weight back on, and it came at a price. When I put some of the weight back on, some of the body fat came back with it. Robert McLeod, 233. You was 255. That's pretty damn good. So I would have to say, Emmy Khan, I'm about 210 pounds. And if I had to make a guess, I'd probably say I'm probably about 19, 20% body fat. I don't got a truck belly, but I don't really got the abs showing no more. I like having the size. I like being bigger. And so you 5'9", 174 pounds at 10% body fat. I know, Emmy Khan, you got to be ripped like a motherfucker. You said, Robert McLeod, you got a beer belly. Hey, but if you lost 16 pounds, that's good. I've said it before. You said you got a mad vein in my chest. I talked about doing that before, about taking the cameras in the gym one of these days when I work out. And now that my shoulder's better and some of my strength has come back, I'll bring the cameras in the gym with me one of these days. But I want to wait until I'm strong enough to be able to bench 275 again on the incline bench. So all the walking to the doctors every week. Hey, clean up your diet too, Robert. That's key right there. You eat clean and stay active. There you go, right there. You eat clean and stay active. You ain't got to fuck with any diet pills and all that other kind of stuff. Impatient Fire, you trying to lose 10 pounds and you're 215 pounds now? Unless you low body fat, Impatient Fire, that shouldn't be anything. You lose 5 pounds just taking a shit. Jack Knight, you carry 20 pounds between your legs. I don't know. You might want to go see the doctor and get some of that removed. Said Impatient Fire trying to get a sick pack again. Oh, you said not like I have no choice because of diabetes. Oh, sorry about that. That runs terribly through my family. Mother, father, grandmother, uncles, all of them diabetic. So, all right, people. Let me go ahead and shut it down and get to it. Plus, I'm hungry in the motherfucker. I gotta eat. So, like I said, look for me here in an hour or two. I'll try to jump on and stream something. And Spartan God, you said you've been here for how long and haven't heard anything about Crackdown? That's the way I started that's the way I started this podcast off. Basically, because this podcast is over 2 hours long. I was saying that if it gets canceled, they're gonna wait and do it at a time when they can soften the blow. They might wait until, like, for instance, they might wait until Forza Horizon 4 comes out and then announce the cancellation then, where, people won't get so mad. But if they do release the game, it's going to be broken. It's not going to you know, that multiplayer will not have the destructible environment that everybody's been talking about. It may not even have a multiplayer. It might, you know, the campaign might be the only thing they have. So I don't think Crackdown 3 will be canceled, Spartan God, but I think it will be released incomplete. And I think they're going to go through their normal PR bullshit and say that they're going to send out patches and fix it over the week and all kinds of other stuff. Well, how about that? Zaire just went live and his title says Sony drops the Spider-Man PS4 Pro bundle. Uh-oh. You know, Robert McLeod, like Thrash said, he thinks it's already canceled because he said businesses just don't do that. They don't issue a last warning out in public where everybody, you know, spilling all your business out in the street like that. He said they already got their mind made up what they're going to do. He thinks they just, you know, by issuing that last warning to the developers, he thinks that's just something to soften the blow for everybody when they announce that the game's going to be canceled. In my case, I think the game is going to be released, but I think it's going to be incomplete. You know, and I think when they release it over on Games Pass, they're going to be able to justify an incomplete game by telling everybody they only paying $10 a month, just like they did with State of Decay 2. So, but yeah, I spent a lot of time at the beginning of this podcast, Spartan Guy, talking a lot about Crackdown 3. So, so definitely go back, you know, check out the replay. And I don't know, I'll probably say check out the first half hour, 45 minutes or something like that. Because I think I spent a good amount of time talking about Crackdown 3, you know, eventually moved over to other subjects. But I did start out talking about Crackdown 3. Microsoft is a hermit in a cave. You don't hear a sound. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I just know they want to get rich without spending no damn money. So, cheap motherfuckers. All right, everybody. I'm going to get on out of here. And again, for those who are going to join me when I stream in a little while, we'll see you there. So thanks for watching, everybody. This is your boy, Lincoln Clay. Y'all the best y'all the best comment section out there. I love y'all. Y'all my boys. Y'all my peeps. We'll check y'all out in a little while. I'm out.